WOCA. Ocala.
Ocala, baby, what makes you look so good? Ocala, baby, what makes you look so good? Why don't you love me like I know you could?
All right, 5 minutes after 10 o'clock, it is time for Ocala Magazine Radio, and your host is in the studio. Hostess Kelli Hart is here. She is an executive editor at Ocala Magazine and a writer and a radio hostess. And good morning, Kelli. How you doing?
Good morning. How are you?
You like the cold weather?
No.
No. I thought you did.
No, I just like the boots.
Oh, you just like the clothing for cold weather. Have you ever gone skiing?
Well, I don't know if this counts, but when I was in Germany, there was an indoor ski slope. So it's year-round snow. So it's kind of an artificial type environment.
Isn't that weird?
But I guess it counts. I still went skiing.
Isn't this a country that has normal snow? Natural snow?
Yes, but at that particular time, it didn't.
Oh, okay.
So
it was a summertime thing.
So it's a year-round, right.
Well, it's like we were reading these ski resorts up in like Vermont and New Hampshire this morning, and one of them has an indoor like summer setting, like a slide park, a water park, indoor.
So kind of the same thing in reverse.
Yeah.
So I went skiing or tumbling. I went tumbling is what I did.
Did you? Okay.
I was terrible.
You did it once and that was it?
That was it.
Yeah, me too. I've done it once.
And at that particular time, because this was many years ago, it was still when people carried a digital camera in addition to their phone.
Uh-huh.
And
I still do that.
And so I had this camera in my pocket because I wanted to take a picture, from the top of the slope.
Uh-huh.
And then on the way down, all the tumbling, it was just a bunch of photos of the inside of my pocket.
Oh, that's kind of funny.
A glimpse of snow here and there.
Oh, that's kind of funny.
It was really a mess. But what I didn't know was water skiing and snow skiing are two very different things. So the position of your skis are quite different.
I didn't know that.
What would make you go fast in the water slows you down in snow and vice versa.
I didn't
realize
that.
this, so I took off full speed.
Oh, because you know how to water ski.
Right.
Oh, wow. I had no idea.
No one told me.
Oh.
So there it is. Now you know.
So if you ever teach it, you'll say, hey, keep this in mind.
So don't be a victim like I was, because no one bothered to tell me. But that was a lot of fun. But that's really, other than that and one other time in St. Louis, I've never even seen snow. One time.
But you didn't ski there. You just saw it.
I didn't ski there, right.
Well, it came pretty close yesterday. It was in Jacksonville.
I heard. I saw all over Facebook there was snow flurries. I don't know exactly what that means.
It means it's falling and
falls,
melting.
But probably melts. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's still exciting.
We had that here. I remember in Ocala, probably before you were born. I think it was 1976.
That was before I was born.
Yeah, I remember it snowing.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of fun, the idea of Florida snow, I suppose, but it's still cold nonetheless. And so when you're from Florida and you have Florida skin and it gets cold and it's raining and it sticks to you, I don't know, just not fun. Not fun for me. Maybe for other people.
Kind of funny.
And for those people, please enjoy this cold, wet weather, but it's not for me.
So as an artist, when you create artwork that is winter-like, do you incorporate snow into your paintings?
I don't create winter-like.
Oh, you never do?
Mm-mm. Everything I do is abstract, or I use a bunch of different mediums and textiles to create my art. I don't do any kind of portraits or landscapes.
Okay.
So nothing I do is...
So you don't put snow?
Not just winter-like, it's just not anything like.
Okay.
It's abstract-like.
Do you have a website for your art? I never asked you this.
I don't.
No, you need to.
I should. I really should.
Does Jessie have a website for her art?
Yeah, Jessie has a website, and she does much more of the realistic portrait type things.
Because the magazine did a whole article on her art. That's how come I know some of her art.
Right. Yes.
So you need to do one for yourself.
I do a lot of custom, there's often times where I'll just kind of get in a zone and I'll feel like creating something, and I'll go in my garage and I'll create something and I'll put it on Facebook, and then it'll sell. So I don't have any inventory of artwork. A lot of stuff I do is custom.
Of the work?
I have tons of photographs of things before I...
So why don't I know this is weird because you work for the magazine,
Right.
but what if, you should be a cover star at least 1 month and showcase your art.
Possibly. I don't know. I'm pretty modest when it comes to covering my own.
Yeah, but isn't that the lesson we all learn too late? Is that you can't? It's a Bible thing, I think. You have to let your light shine. Isn't that song?
Right.
This little light of mine.
Yes.
Gotta let your light shine.
Right. That's true. I'll have to bring that up.
Can you imagine?
Maybe that'll be one of my New Year's resolutions.
Can you imagine if you're a peach tree?
Okay.
Right? God made you.
Okay.
You're a peach tree, but you don't want anybody to know you have peaches.
Okay.
That would be
good point. You're right.
You can't do that. If God made you and you have gifts, you have to let them go.
I guess I feel like my art, when it comes to actually painting and creating, is a hobby.
You looked at me so funny when I said, "Imagine you're a peach tree."
Yeah. Like, no one has ever said that to me before.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I guess I feel like writing is an art, and that's more of my way of letting my light shine.
Writing is an art,
So
yeah.
writing is kind of, when it comes to writing, I don't hold back.
Fair enough. So your art is in the magazine in the form of the written word.
I would like to think that every month, some part of me and some part of my art is there. So.
Good point.
Yes, and speaking of, the new issue is out. This is our January issue, which is really nice because
Who's that on the cover?
That's Katie McCoy. She works with the Ocala Symphony Orchestra.
Oh, she's cute.
Yeah, isn't she?
Yeah.
And so she was our cover model. And then we have this really nice gatefold. This is our Town and Country issue. I think I talked about this a little bit last week, is that we filled this particular issue with a lot of information about what's going on in the community, what's coming up in the community. We have our Person of the Year, who is Jane Elsperman, which we thought was a
oh, man. Good
perfect
choice.
I mean,
Good
that
choice.
was such an easy choice. When the subject came up, it was pretty much automatic because she really fits the criterion for what we look for in a Person of the Year.
Yeah.
And we always do our on the menu section where we pick a restaurant in town and we go out and we do a food review. And a lot of times it's more upscale type venues. And in this particular month, we did Hungry Bear because being town and country, we felt
I love Hungry Bear.
I mean, it's a staple. It's a staple in this community.
We should have more
years.
of those types.
Right.
Yeah.
And those, we need to, so I thought, with it being a town and country issue, we need to focus on someone who's been in town and has been a part of this town.
Do you remember the guy who started Mad Dads? Do you remember that?
No.
What was that guy's name again? He had a little place. Do you remember the place on Pine? I don't know if that's considered South Pine or not, but it's closed now. He had a wonderful place that had that southern, I don't know what you call it.
Like a soul food type?
I think so.
Southern comfort type food?
I think so. I think that's what you would call it. Yeah. Patrick Hadley was
On
the guy's
Pine.
name. Do you remember him?
No.
Okay. Well, anyway, he had
But same
this,
type thing?
Well, just delicious, and you couldn't get it anywhere else. That's what
Right.
I mean. Like Hungry Bear, delicious. You couldn't call it a hamburger, but it's not like the hamburger you get anywhere else.
Oh, no. And that was kind of our point. We wanted to spotlight someone who's stood the test of time. They're a staple in our community. They've served us with delicious food and milkshakes for years and years and years, but sometimes they're
Delicious
overlooked.
food and milkshakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, they're delicious. And that's the thing. So, look, there's my coworker telling me to get to work. I am working.
He's coming
sir.
in here.
Yeah, I know, unfortunately. I should just put him on the spot and put him on the air. But I won't do that to him. So it's a really great issue. You want to come in, Daniel?
Oh,
here we go.
I recruited him.
Okay.
I dragged him.
Now I have to think of a really hard question to ask him. But it's full of it. So the editorial is great. We have so much going on. We have a day in the life of the band, A Day to Remember, who just coincidentally did a pop-up concert. Hi, Daniel.
Howdy.
Have a seat.
Oh, Lord.
Introduce Daniel. Who's Daniel?
Okay, this is Daniel. He is one of our. What's your official title, Daniel?
Business analyst.
I can't.
You
say
analyze
on
the business?
air what I
guess
call
so.
it. So you're out delivering?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's got a big enough ego. You don't need to build it up
Oh
anymore.
my. Okay. All right. I don't want to get into a war on the air, but you're gonna get it. You know what we call him around the magazine?
boy.
An analyst.
Well, his coffee mug says Big Daddy, so
Oh, really?
yeah.
So what does that refer
but
to?
I have the ego. Now he's gonna get in trouble.
Oh, no, now you embarrassed him. Yeah.
Well, you want to join me for the rest of the show?
Yeah, stick around. Stick around. It'll be fun.
All right, throw some.
What, you put headphones on?
Yeah, put the headphones on. That way you feel like you're in the radio business.
So this is a spontaneous. I love this. This is great. This is great. While he's getting ready, do we need to take a break so he can get set up? Or
We do, as a matter of fact.
So we'll
yes.
take a break, and we come back. We'll harass Daniel some more.
Oh, God.
All right. We will take a break. We've got the weather coming up and a couple of commercial spots, and then we'll be back with Kelli and Daniel. and Ocala Magazine Radio. This is The Source, WOCA Ocala.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. For today, times of clouds and sun and breezy with a brief shower in spots. Highs will range from the low 50s in the northernmost part of the zone to the mid-60s in the south. And partly cloudy tonight with a low in the upper 30s across the northern interior part of the zone to the mid-50s along the south coast. For tomorrow, times of clouds and sun. There may be a shower in spots along the coast. Highs ranging from near 60 in the north to the low 70s in the south. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
The Ocala Civic Theater presents Sleuth. The mystery is in the wits of the two young rivals that battle each other to commit the perfect crime. Predator becomes prey, and this diabolical thriller blends danger and dark humor. The tension builds with every riveting plot twist and illusion. Sleuth at the Ocala Civic Theater on stage January 8th to January 18th. Call the box office at 352-236-2274.
Are you a mom looking for inspiration? Are you creative? Mamazine.com is a lifestyle blog designed for the local mom to be inspired by the beauty of motherhood while staying current on local events and issues. Visit Mamazine.com today to find events around town, recipes, imaginative play ideas, and more. Mamazine.com.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
In fact, a whopping 70% of women said a computer or cell phone interrupted their time with their partner at least once a day. The best way to get kids to like vegetables is to simply keep offering them a variety of vegetables during the first year of life. New research has found that touching a plant, a flower, or a tree can lower your blood pressure and stress hormone levels. It also prompts a relaxation response in the brain.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
All right, 17 minutes after 10 o'clock, Kelli Hart is here with Daniel Lawrence, and he is a business analyst at Ocala Magazine Radio. This is Ocala Magazine Radio. All right, so are we going to learn what a business analyst does?
Sure, Daniel.
What does a business...
Tell Larry what a business analyst does.
You analyze business?
Besides bothering the creative department constantly. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, somebody has to keep those people in line, right? Well, we basically market, to anyone in business. We go out and we try to bring in business to the magazine. We, discuss with them all the things that, they can accomplish, that we can work with them to, increase their market shares, move forward.
So you sell advertising?
Absolutely.
Is that what that means? Okay.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Now I understand what you do.
Yes. But it's so much more than that. So I think that's why the analyst part comes in, because there's a lot of times where you sit down with a new client and they know that they need to market, but they have zero idea how.
No idea. Yeah.
They don't know how to brand themselves. They know they want something on paper, but they don't know how to get that across. So rather than just saying, we'll take your money, we'll give you some advertising, they'll sit down with them. Our creative team will sit down with them. At times I sit down with them, and we come up with a strategic plan of not only being in the magazine, but making your money work for you by coming up with some kind of marketing strategy and branding opportunities.
Do you know one of the things that you guys do that I like, and I know it's a paid-for thing, but still I like it. It's you named it one time. It's called an advertorial. Or
Advertorial.
Something? Yeah,
right.
I like that because, especially if I've never heard of this business, because then the wording that is in there, while it's written from an advertising angle, it still gives me more information about that business.
Sure. Well, it's an opportunity for people to advertise, but rather than it just being your logo and your phone number and your address, especially if you're a new business, that's all good and great and important, but okay, so what do you do?
If you're new, especially.
And who are you?
Right.
Are you from Ocala? Is there a local tie?
Right.
We want to know that. Is your family from here?
And here's my 2 cents. You would just talk about ego, and one of the biggest mistakes that advertisers make is letting their ego get in the way.
Sure.
Because all of a sudden, it's about me. I want my picture there. I want you to know about my childhood. Who cares?
Right.
If you're selling candy...
I'm glad he said that, not us.
Right, exactly.
If you're selling candy bars, tell me about the candy bars.
Exactly.
you know?
Exactly. And people, they might have a great business concept, and they might have a delicious menu, and they might have a perfect location, but they don't want to focus on that sometimes as much as, well, you know, I have 40 years in culinary training, and so here's my picture in my outfit. And that's great. And that's really important. Obviously, experience.
With one line.
Right.
You don't have to
But
stay
I want
there.
to know, why is your food fresh? What organic products are you using versus your competition? And, you know, tell me about your team and the passion behind what you're doing. And, you know, draw me in. Make me want to use your business.
So how do you do a review of a restaurant like Hungry Bear without seeming like you're, what do I want to say? Like curtailing to them? What's the word I'm looking for? Like we're favoritism, or we're partial to them? I mean, obviously you've picked them because you like their food, but how do you do it so that we, the reader, don't look at it as another ad? How do we know? Because if you had a bad review, we'd know, that's not an ad. But a good review.
Right. And there's a difference between a food review and a food critic, which no one at our magazine is an expert in culinary arts, and we're not food critics. We're not going to go in and pop up in someone's restaurant and taste their food and write.
I love to eat, though.
And write this terrible.
So that does make you an expert.
Write this terrible.
I feel like I'm an expert on something.
Most people don't even understand the concept of the advertorial being a paid-for thing. When people see editorial, 9 times out of 10, they assume
it's just an article.
It's an article, and that it's editorial. Our food reviews are, you know, picked by us. A lot of times, if there's a new business, obviously we want to reach out to those people. It's a perfect time for us to do a review, because it gets the word out about your business and it encourages people to try you. Sometimes when people change management, that's a perfect time, because maybe the things that weren't exactly right before might be right now. And so let's experience that, and let's tell our readers and our community all the reasons why they should go and
So did you, in the magazine, did you interview Jane Elsperman? And
I did not interview Jane Elsperman, but Maritza, who is one of our writers, she interviewed Jane Elsperman, who I hope to have on at some point this month on a future show. Okay. I mean, she's in school at the same time we're doing the radio show, so we're working on that. But one of the things I did want to touch on, because it's timely, is we did a real quick 2-page spread on New Year's resolutions. And what I thought was interesting was our writer, Kara Pound. She interviewed a few people in town that have had success with resolutions, people that gave up soda for an entire year, and talked a little bit about how that affected their overall fitness and their health and finances.
Didn't you give up tea one time?
I tried to give up sweet tea at one point, but I didn't make it all year. Now,
that's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. Now,
why is it ridiculous?
Well,
Why?
because there's, you know, are you going to drink, well, if you give up soda, okay, fine. What are you left with? You know, water, Gatorade. Sweet tea is a staple here in the South. I mean, what are you going to drink? Bitter brown water? No, I want to drink sweet brown water.
And it's hard for a lot of reasons. I was raised on sweet tea, literally in a baby bottle, sweet tea. My mom also happens to make the best sweet tea I've ever had. So going and visiting and then having it there tempting me was difficult.
How long did you last?
I made it a few months, maybe through my birthday, and then that was it. I succumbed to the pressure of the deliciousness of it. But there were times, one year I myself gave up soda. I decided for this year I'm going to give up soda. And I ended up going 4 years without soda, and finally broke by having a root beer. And now I don't even, other than maybe an occasional soda here, maybe at the movies or somewhere, I don't drink soda. And there was a year I gave up French fries. I went an entire
So why do you go back if you give it up?
Without French fries. Well, because they're things that I love, and I'm not really giving them up
forever
for fitness reasons. Okay. I'm just really choosing something that I know will prove to me that I have self-control and that I can just conquer a goal, basically. And French fries is rough.
Do you ever give up sex?
Really rough.
Daniel, have you ever said, I'm going to give up sex for like a
voluntarily?
A year?
I don't understand what you're saying. So
Daniel married his high school sweetheart. He's been married for like 100 years.
Yeah, well, I'm going on about 22 years this year.
Oh, wow. Well, good for you.
So, yeah, he probably gave it up, after the second year. He's married. He doesn't know what it is.
Yeah, too funny.
So voluntarily, no, that is not something that I've given up. But they say only 8, so I want to get this correct. There was a study conducted by the University of Scranton and published in the Journal of Clinical Psychology that only 8% of Americans are successful in achieving their resolutions, which seems really low. Because I would assume close to 100% of people come up with a resolution, even if it's something small, but only 8% actually succeed. So what's the problem? Are we setting unrealistic goals? Like for me, for example, when I say I'm going to do something for an entire year, that can be a little overwhelming. So what they say is you should set daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals.
Well, everything is a daily goal. I mean,
sure.
if you set a resolution on December 31st,
Right.
you got to do it one day at a time. There's no choice.
Sure. But maybe saying something like, every day I will, I don't know, wear my seatbelt, or something like that. I mean, this is not my goal. I
That's
wear
a
my
good one.
seatbelt. But for maybe somebody who doesn't, rather than saying, all year long, I'm
my
going to,
goodness.
you kind of have to take it day by day until it becomes a habit. Because what do they
Yeah.
say? It takes 28 days to form a habit?
I've heard
Is that right?
something. I don't know the number, but yeah, there's
I should know
a
that.
period of time.
I think it's 28 days.
What's
I
the
don't know.
hardest day? It's the third day. That's what they say.
The third day.
The third day is the hardest day. If you can get past the third day, and I don't think a habit is formed yet, but if you can pass the third day, then you're on your way to whatever it is.
So do you have any New Year's resolutions, Larry?
Lose weight, yeah.
To lose weight.
Yeah.
Do you have just a set goal in mind, or just to keep
no,
losing it?
just to
Just to lose it.
To eat better. Maybe
Okay.
is a better way of saying it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Daniel, what are your resolutions?
Mine is to eat more.
What? How come he doesn't write a
easiest
comedy? You need to
resolution.
write a comedy column or something.
Satire.
And apparently have as much sex as possible.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, that is a good goal.
Now you know why his mug's
Why
such
is that a
big
bad goal? That's a good goal.
That is a good goal. I mean, everybody should set those goals.
As long as your wife sets the same goal, you guys will be in
I'm
luck.
sure she's in line with that too. I have no good doubt about that.
So I thought about it, what are going to be my resolutions? And it's kind of the same old thing. Work
And what
out
are yours?
more.
You asked us. What's yours?
Working out more, finding time in my schedule for cardio, nothing unrealistic, nothing crazy. I'm not ever going to be over the top about fitness or a swimsuit model or anything like that. But
Are you kidding?
Now
He doesn't want me to boost your ego. What are you talking about? You'd be a great model.
no, I have no desire to do it.
Wow.
Even if I had
That's
a desire.
different.
But I have no desire to do it. But at 35.
But one time, just one time? You wouldn't do it just one time? Like be part of a calendar, like the women of media?
I don't think so.
Really?
In a swimsuit?
Why not?
I'm too modest. That's not my style.
Have you seen her in a
Photo
swimsuit?
shoot in their pajamas or their
Pajamas, yes. I'll do
I know.
pajamas.
I don't remember what issue it was.
Why wouldn't you? Well, you could do a one piece.
Maybe a one piece. That's more. I'm 35. I'm a mother.
Oh, please.
I think there's a time and a place for prancing around in your bikini. It's just not me. A pajama shoot, yes. A ball gown, something like that, absolutely.
What kind of pajamas though?
Even something very nice, like a Victoria's Secret type thing. But if it's all. How did this? See, two men in the room
That's
is
it.
a very
Yeah,
bad
very
thing
bad.
for this show.
I think
I
the
had to
calendar.
bring this back
I think
around.
you have to have a Ocala magazine calendar.
He started it with the calendar, so
It's not a bad idea.
An Ocala magazine calendar wouldn't be bad. Maybe some of our very best moments over the last year, but I don't think you're going to find anyone at that magazine who's going to hop into a bikini.
Why Linda could be? Linda would look good.
Linda would look good.
See, so
She's
you got
tall
two.
and
You got
thin.
January and February. What's your month? What's your birth month?
March.
So you could be March. What's her birth month?
Oh gosh, June maybe? July? I don't know. I should know this.
Daniel, what's your birth month?
April.
He could be April. Who said it has to be all women?
Oh
Hey.
boy.
It could be all Ocala
Oh
magazine
my god,
staff.
this could go bad fast.
Food and wine, and I'm there.
But besides that, I mean, obviously, besides the goal of being in a bikini and a calendar this year, there are some professional resolutions that I have or goals, and one of them is to write more provocatively, which I've not even quite figured out what that means to me, but it's on my list.
Provocatively, you mean things that will stir debate and ire?
Yes, things that will just capture people's attention more so
Oh,
than ever.
gosh.
Right. So exactly. I don't know exactly what that means to me yet, but I'm in the process of first deciding what provocative means to me.
The only problem is it would probably buck the magazine's flavor.
Right. Well,
So you'd have to publish it
It's-
somewhere else.
right. Well, I mean, there are still opportunities for Ocala magazine. I mean, we still want to win awards, and we still don't want to compromise amazing journalism
Like with the gay marriage thing. Okay, this is very controversial.
Sure.
And we didn't really have an argument about it. But when we said what would happen if you controlled a stadium and somebody said to you, look, I want to propose during the basketball game. You go, oh, great, we love doing that. Well, I'm proposing to somebody of my same sex. Then you might say, oh, wait a minute. I don't know if I want that. And you could discuss the pros and cons of that.
Sure. And those are absolutely wonderful topics for Ocala Magazine. Controversial things, when written in a way that is neutral and still very respectful to both parties, it still qualifies for what we do. So those are my goals. And I did post a thing on Facebook this morning asking people what their New Year's resolutions are. So we want to encourage people to like us on Facebook. Always check for our questions. We have every few days we post something, and we love to hear back from people. And check out our new issue. It's amazing. And if you don't see it in print, check for our digital issue at ocalamagazine.com. It's amazing.
Get in touch with me with any advertising or marketing ideas or things you want to do.
And how much does the magazine cost?
This is a free publication.
It's a free magazine?
It's a free magazine.
We have some here. Daniel
Yes.
just brought them.
Yes, sir.
Right? Daniel, nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you as well.
Thank you for coming in. Kelly,
for
thank
having
you.
us.
As always, I think we hijacked your show a little bit.
That's okay. It was fun.
We'll take a little break. We'll be right back.
Soothe my soul. I don't care about no rocky and jive. Just wanna be your man tonight.
You're running your business, and we at Wix.com know things can get stressful. But creating your website doesn't have to be. With Wix, you can create a professional website all by yourself. It's easy and free. You don't have to be a programmer. Just drag and drop everything into place. It's your website, your style. Show the world what you can do. Go to Wix.com and create your own stunning website today. It's easy and free.
I'm Chris Wall.